Right now, a parasite is spreading across 34 states. It's the largest outbreak of its kind ever recorded in this country. And here's the part that should stop you cold. 1 year before it started, our own government quietly stopped requiring anyone to track it. They turned off the alarm, and then the fire started. I want to talk about what happens when a country decides it would rather not know. So, my first point, the outbreak and its timing that nobody apparently could explain. The parasite is Cyclospora. You've read about it in the papers. It causes relentless, sometimes explosive illness that can drag on for weeks. This year, it's hit 34 states, more than 1,600 confirmed cases with over 5,000 more waiting to be confirmed. It's outpacing last year more than 6-1, the largest on record. For nearly 30 years, a federal program called FoodNet actively tracked this parasite. It was one of 8 it watched closely. Then in July of 2025, the government cut that list of required pathogens of 8 down to 2. Cyclospora tracking went from required to optional. Overnight, watching for this bug became something you could just skip. 1 year later, here we are. Now, I want to be careful and fair. No one can prove the downgrade in the monitoring and reporting caused the outbreak. But ask yourself honestly, when you stop looking for something and a year later it shows up bigger than ever, how much of a coincidence does that feel like? Point 2, when you stop measuring, you go blind, and turns out blind is the point. Here's what optional really means. State health officials are now reporting case numbers that don't even match the CDC's own count because the coordinated national picture got weaker. In one state, health officials counted roughly 1,000 cases while the federal tally lagged behind. You can't fight what you can't see. You can't trace a contaminated food source fast if you've dialed down the very network built to spot the pattern. Investigators have said the staffing and funding cuts slowed things down. And notice the excuse they gave for making tracking optional. That the tracking was duplicative, that states could pick up the slack. But states said plainly, if the federal money goes, our watching goes with it. One of those states is now living through its own outbreak. This is the oldest trick there is. You don't get blamed for a problem you never measured. Stopped counting, and on paper, the problem disappears. The bug doesn't, just our ability to see it. And point 3, now imagine the monitoring nobody's watching. Here's why this should matter to every one of us. Even if you never catch this parasite, Cyclospora at least made the news. It has a face. Explosive illness in 34 states is hard to ignore. Now think about the monitoring that never makes the news. The condition of our lakes, our rivers, our streams, our wetlands, our coastal waters. The parasite is in the salad gets headlines. A slowly dying river gets nothing. The same knife has been taken to those programs too. The agencies responsible for watching our water have been cut. Their programs thinned out. And I'll be honest with you, even before the cuts, those agencies were never very aggressive about telling the public what they found. Quiet reporting, buried data, assessment that came out years late, if they came out at all. Remember lead poisoning in Flint, Michigan? So put it together. If they'll stop tracking a parasite that's sickening thousands in plain sight, what do you think is happening to the monitoring of water out of sight where no outbreak forces anyone to look? If Cyclospora is what it looks like when they get caught, imagine what's happening when nobody's watching at all. We are being blinded on purpose, not with a dramatic announcement, but quietly, one optional at a time, one budget line at a time, until nobody's counting and nobody can prove a thing. A parasite in 34 states is the warning we can see. The water is in danger and we can't see it. The public deserves better than a government that would rather look away than be held responsible for what it finds. Our job, all of us, is to refuse to let them turn off the lights. I'm Steve Paulsen with the National Water Conservancy. Help us keep watch, subscribe, and tell us in the comment what water you're not willing to lose.